The day my mother-in-law showed up at my door. She looked me straight in the eyes and said, "My son hasn't visited me in 3 years." And just like that, everything I thought I knew about my husband collapsed. Because for 3 years, he'd been leaving our house every single month, telling me the same thing. "I'm going to visit my mom." And I believed him. That afternoon felt completely normal. I had laundry running, a grocery list half written on the counter, nothing dramatic, nothing unusual. Then the doorbell rang. I assumed it was a delivery. But when I opened the door, there was an older woman standing there. Not fragile, not confused, just tired, like someone who had traveled farther than she should have. She held her purse tightly in both hands. "Is this Daniel's house?" she asked. I smiled automatically. "Yes, it is." There was this small moment of relief on her face, like she had just found something she'd been searching for. "I thought so," she said. Then she looked at me, almost carefully. "I'm his mother." At first, I thought something had gone wrong. Maybe the nursing home had called her a taxi. Maybe she got confused. Maybe something serious had happened. "Oh, of course," I said quickly. "Please, come in." She stepped inside slowly, looking around, not like she recognized the place, just curious. I made tea. I didn't know what else to do. She sat at the kitchen table, holding the cup with both hands like she needed the warmth. "I hope you don't mind me coming like this," she said softly. "It took me 2 buses. 2 buses? That felt wrong." I tried to keep my voice calm. "Did the facility know you were leaving?" She looked at me. "What facility?" There was a pause. I thought maybe I said something wrong. "The nursing home," I clarified gently. And that's when her expression changed. Not confusion that clears up, confusion that deepens. "I don't live in a nursing home," she said. For a second, I told myself this was exactly what Daniel had warned me about. Memory issues, confusion. I nodded, trying to stay reassuring. "Daniel visits you every month," I said. She didn't react the way I expected. She didn't light up. She didn't correct herself. She just looked down at her tea and then back at me. "No," she said quietly. "He doesn't." And the room went completely still. I waited. You know how sometimes people hesitate, then fix what they just said? She didn't. "The last time I saw Daniel," she continued slowly, "was before I moved into assisted living, not a nursing home." She looked embarrassed, like she might be wrong. "That was about 3 years ago, I think." 3 years. I felt something cold settle in my chest. "I kept expecting him to come," she added. "At first, they told me families take time. Then I stopped asking." When Daniel came home that evening, everything changed. He walked into the living room and froze. His mother was sitting on the couch, not dramatic, not angry, just there. Her face lit up when she saw him. "Oh, good," she said, smiling. "I found the place." He didn't move. He didn't speak. His eyes went from her to me. And in that silence, I already knew. Something was very, very wrong. "You said you were visiting her," I said quietly. He didn't deny it. Not right away, and somehow that made it worse. He started talking, but it came out in fragments. Miscommunication, scheduling issues, the place being disorganized. Excuses that sounded like they were meant to fill space, not explain anything. But the problem with small lies is that they fall apart under simple questions. "What facility?" his mother asked again. That was it. There was nowhere left to hide. Eventually, the truth came out. Not in some dramatic confession. Not all at once. Just slowly. Like something being worn down. For 3 years, he had told me he was visiting his mother. And for 3 years, he had told his mother that work made it hard to visit. The monthly trips? They were real. He just wasn't going to see her. My first thought was, there had to be more. Another life, another woman, a secret apartment, something. Because who lies like that for 3 years, for no reason? But there wasn't anything else. "I just couldn't do it," he said finally. I stared at him. Couldn't do what? Go there. He tried to explain, badly, like someone who had practiced the excuse in their own head, but never out loud. Seeing her age, watching her decline, the smell of the building, the loneliness. It felt easier, he said quietly, to say I was going. And that was the moment that hit me the hardest. Not the lie itself, but how easily he had lived inside it. 2 completely different realities. In one, he was a good son. In the other, he just wasn't. And he carried both of them into our home every single month, like it was nothing. His mother didn't interrupt him once. She just listened, calm, quiet. Then she finished her tea and said something none of us expected. "Well," she said thoughtfully, "now that I know where you live, that solves one problem." Daniel looked up. "I don't think I'll stay in assisted living anymore." Her tone wasn't angry, it was practical. "If my son lives in this city, I'd rather be somewhere I can actually see him." And just like that, the lie didn't have anywhere to exist anymore. Over the next few weeks, everything shifted. Doctor appointments, apartment searches closer to us, schedules, real ones. Daniel started driving across town twice a week, not because he said he did, because now everyone could see if he didn't. Our marriage didn't explode. There were no screaming matches, no dramatic ultimatums. But something changed. Something thin settled between us, like fabric that had been worn down in the same spot over and over again, still there, but weaker. Because what stayed with me wasn't just the lie. It was how simple it had been. All it took was a routine. 1 day a month, a small bag, a quiet exit. And I never questioned it. And what broke it? Wasn't a fight. Wasn't an argument. Wasn't even suspicion. It was a doorbell. Sometimes the truth doesn't explode into your life. Sometimes it just shows up and waits for you to open the door. After that, I stopped asking myself why he did it, because the reason didn't change what it meant. If someone can build a life next to you while hiding something that big, that easily, you don't just lose trust in what they say. You start questioning what you don't see. And I think that's the real damage. Not the lie itself, but how quietly it lived. So now I'm curious. If you were in my position, would you be able to trust him again?